Hi, welcome to howtostats.com. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to perform a one-way ANOVA in SPSS, and specifically it's a between groups one-way ANOVA, which is to be contrasted with a within subjects ANOVA, which is frequently called a repeated measures ANOVA. So in this tutorial, or this video, I'm only going to be talking about a one-way between groups ANOVA, which is probably the simplest ANOVA that's around. The data I'm going to use for this example are example data that you can find in SPSS, so you can do this analysis yourself if you got access to the sample data. Maybe I should make a video as to how you can find these data, how you can find sample data in SPSS. In this example, my hypothesis is that three different groups of people who work differ in the amount of money they earn. And what I've got is salary as one variable, which is a continuous variable or interval ratio variable, which is my dependent variable, and that's required for analysis of variance. The dependent variable is measured on a continuous scale, so salary. And then the other variable, which is my independent variable, is measured on a nominal scale, or it's categorical in nature, and it's job category. And I can tell you that the ones, if I go into variable view and I go job category, I've got number one is clerical, is their job category, and number two is custodial, or what might be more frequently called maintenance today, and the third category is manager. And I suppose we would hypothesize that the managers earn more money than clerical and custodial, but one question would be, well, does the custodial group earn more than the clerical group? Now, technically, a one-way analysis of variance is going to tell us that level of specificity in answering the question. But what it will do is will tell us whether there's at least one difference between the group means, and I'll talk about that more in a second. So to perform the one-way analysis of variance, you can actually do that two ways in SPSS, and each way has its own advantages. I'm going to do it first the most simple way and the most common way, probably. You go into Analyze, Compare Means, and then One-Way ANOVA. And then you choose your dependent variable, which is salary, and you put it into the dependent list. And then you take employment category and put it into factor. Okay, and then you go into Options, and I choose Descriptive, Homogeneity Variance Test. I also choose Brown-Forsyth and Welsh tests, and I'll talk about that briefly in a minute. And I also plot the means. What I don't choose is fixed and random effects, which is a totally different issue and usually very rarely applicable to an actual data case. I'll just very briefly say that ANOVA assumes that your effects are just fixed effects in the independent variable, and I guess what I'll do is another video on the difference between fixed and random effects, but you can assume that in 99% of cases your analysis corresponds to a fixed effects model, so you don't have to select this fixed and random effects option. I'll leave it unselected. Alright, and click Continue. I'm not going to do post hoc testing in this video. Post hoc testing, I'll leave it for another separate video. So I'll click OK. This is just the one-way ANOVA. And let me minimize this window. Hopefully I can do so. It's not really working with me here. Alright, sorry about that. Okay. So what we've got first is the descriptive statistics, and we look at that. Usually you have a hunch about what your means are going to look like, and you get the means and standard deviations. Those are probably the most important pieces of information here. We can see that clerical employees earn 28,000 rounded. I don't know how old these data are. These data could be 10, 15, 20 years old. I don't know. It's the sample data in SPSS. Maintenance or custodial earn $31,000.